What's up, guys? Welcome back to the EG Pot of Thunder with your boy, the young light-skinned Keith Sweat. And we're here with Miami Dolphins celebrity fan, Dolphreaky, Allie.
Hey, what's up?
So right off the bat, so how does it feel? Like, I just started doing the podcast, and like some people like give me compliments in person, which is pretty cool. How does it feel to be like a local, maybe national, because I'm not even in Miami, I know who you are. So how does it like feel to be like known, like I guess on a national stage for being like a Dolphins fan?
Yeah, you know what? It's something that I'm still getting used to because I guess I don't fully realize like the scope or like, you know, how people know me. And so anytime somebody knows me from like somewhere, I'm still taken aback by it. So it's funny.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And it's even funnier like when I'm not in dolphin clothes and people recognize me like out and about. And so like I live in Naples, Florida, which is honestly like you wouldn't find as many Dolphin fans here as you would think, being as close to the stadium as we are.
Really?
And so I've had people like, I'll just be in the grocery store and like the off chance that I'm not wearing something Dolphins, and they're like, "You're that Dolphin girl from Twitter. I recognize you." And I'm like, "How did you recognize me? Like, I don't even have my blue hair on, you know, I'm not wearing anything Dolphin." So it's something I'm still getting used to. But honestly, like I love it. Like I love, you know, being a resource person that people can come to if they have, you know, questions about attending the game, or if they have questions about, you know, how to get tickets or how to get to training camp, or, you know, all of that stuff. I really enjoy it. So it is fun, you know, to be a known person. It is also overwhelming at times, honestly.
Would you consider yourself an influencer?
You know, it's funny because somebody on Twitter last week used the word a finfluencer. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm a finfluencer.
Like, I think so.
I think, you know, it's part of my job to like, you know, try to keep, you know, the fan base positive and keep everybody kind of like on the right track. And so I try to influence the fans, you know, in a positive light. And also, you know, I do rep certain brands, and, you know, I do promos for, you know, like things like What Would Shula Do, like different brands like that. And, you know, I do have companies that'll like send me things like, hey, can you, you know, we're introducing this product. Can you like do a picture or like a post or whatever? So I guess in that way, like I am an influencer or a finfluencer.
Yeah, influencer for sure. So how long did it take you to like be on that like scope? So like, it's crazy. It's like in Rhode Island, like amongst my friends, I'm definitely known as like that crazy Dolphin fan, which I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna start making like videos like during the season like away games. I'm gonna start definitely doing more like live streams and stuff like that. Just, you know, try to get like out to like the Dolphin community. I'm not sure what you would call it, but
yeah. So
how long did it take you to like get known like amongst like what blew you up? I guess like what was that one thing that happened where you went viral?
That's a really good question because it's been an evolution over, I would say, like over the last probably 20 years or so, like just, well, probably since like 2009 when I did the DirecTV Sunday Ticket, the Displaced Fan Contest. That was like the first like thing that was like, okay, like there's this girl living in Pennsylvania who is like a diehard Dolphin fan. And then like that was kind of the dawn of social media. And so, you know, that I got a lot of support that way. And then
what was that contest? I'm not familiar with that contest at all.
Yeah. Okay. So this is not something that they do anymore, but basically they were trying to find the ultimate displaced fan. So this was hosted by DirecTV, and, you know, was open to anybody who was a fan of an NFL team not residing in the same state as the team. So I lived in Pennsylvania, and I was like a 19-year-old kid with like a room like this, and it's really funny because it was very basic, like compared to the fan caves of today. Like my cave was super basic, but you had to write an essay and explain why you think that you are the ultimate displaced fan, and then you had to make a video. And it could be any sort of video, like if you just went around your cave and you like showed your memorabilia or whatever. But I chose to it's very embarrassing.
No, you gotta go for it. I'm sure I have some crazy stories.
It's an important part of my history. So basically it was like a rap song that I changed the words to.
Oh, can we hear a line? Can we hear some bars real quick? You might know you still know it. I know you still know it. Oh, we gotta get it.
It was Will Smith's Miami.
Ooh.
And so I can't do this right now. It was like bouncing on the couch when Ricky runs. The Phins are the best. They're number one. I bleed the teal and orange. It's like so corny. But anyway,
get them bars.
Because it was corny and it was like kind of cutesy and whatever, like, and it was filmed on my digital camera, like people latched onto it. So it was just like when YouTube was like brand new and everything. So
that's fire.
Then that was like the first thing.
Rick Ross, move over, baby. Rick Ross, move over.
I can't even say it was a rap because it was like a sing-song thing, and like I had my wig on, and at the time, that's actually what led me to the Dolphreaky name, because I had like a spiky wig and I was like a freak, you know. And so that was the original, like, Dolphreaky was kind of like a face painted, like half, you know, aqua, half orange, crazy freak fan.
That's cool because it can go like multiple different ways, and people are like, "Oh, what does that mean?" And it attaches to everything.
I've had it where like people be like, "How freaky is Dolphreaky?"
I'm sure you get it all the time.
This was not the intention for the name. It was not meant to have any sort of like sexual connotation.
Hey, but I'm sure it helps you go viral, get more followers. Like, follow real quick.
And honestly, like as the years went on, like Dolphreaky did become a little bit sexier and like, you know, show a little more skin and like that sort of thing. But that's just mostly
evolution with it.
That's just for like entertainment value and just because I got older and stuff. Yeah. But
so like when these companies reach out to you, are they like, hey, can you be more like sexy with it? Like, are they telling you what to do, or just like you be yourself?
I get asked a lot, like to do OnlyFans.
Oh,
and,
snap.
Like, honestly, that's not me. Like I have a professional job. I'm a pharmacist. Like I can't be putting my body parts out there.
I mean, you could, but you might get fired real quick. I don't know, or you might get John coming to your pharmacy every single day.
Yeah, so I am very wary of creepers and like things like that. And so basically, I do, you know, I put out a little bit sexier content, like more on Twitter. Like I feel like Twitter is more like open to that sort of thing. It's never like nude anything like that. For sure. Just like, you know, you might find like more bathing suit photos and that sort of thing. Like if you join my Twitter super follow option, but it's definitely like PG-13 still. Like
yeah, so you have like a Patreon kind of.
Yeah, and like it makes like little to no money, but it's
that's crazy. You know what? I see you. I honestly don't even know how I followed you on Instagram in the first place, because like I'm a big Dolphins fan, but like I'm not like, I'm sure you know who he is. You know Chris Barker.
Oh yeah, he's a good friend of mine.
Oh really? When he comes to New England, he goes to the hotel. I see him all the time, and I met him there. I met him a lot of times, and we started having these conversations. He's a really cool guy. Yeah. And I'm not sure. I follow him on Twitter, but I don't have you on Twitter because I didn't know if you were going to recognize my Instagram. But on Instagram, I didn't know how he even follows you in the first place. Like, I have literally no idea because I don't post like really Dolphin stuff.
Yeah.
I literally have no idea.
Like, I don't know what the algorithm is like with Instagram, but I find that when I tag people, like, for example, the day that Tyreek Hill got signed, I just posted like a little reaction. I was losing my mind like the whole day, obviously, like the entire Dolphin Nation, and I just took a little photo in here, like, you know, with my like, oh my god, I'm freaking out because I was literally freaking out.
You're freaking out.
Like just tagging Tyreek in my photo, like just like exploded my followers, and so sometimes it's just something like random like that, like sometimes in the like the suggested, like not the For You page or whatever it is, the page where like they suggest and like people see like a girl like with a Dolphins thing and they're like, oh yeah, like, you know, I'm a Dolphin fan too. I don't know.
Could have been that. Honestly, I can't. Do you know like the Rhode Island people who have like that thing like in Boneheads? I'm not sure if you know them. They used to go out to Miami and stuff like that. They had like there was like a Dolphin like bar here. So I know they go to Miami sometimes like for like certain games. So I didn't know if they met you and they tagged you because you're literally the only Dolphin fan other than like one of my good friends was a Dolphins fan. So I've literally crazy. But on Twitter, I see you literally all the time because like I get like algorithms for like Dolphin stuff nonstop, and you continually pop up, and like there's like 3 other girls who like continually pop up all the time on my timeline.
Yeah, I think it just, I mean, I'm sure it has to do with people who are posting frequently and like having like the same like relevant type of content. And all of my social media content is very heavily Dolphins because that is literally my life, like all of the time. So I do a lot of podcasts, and then, going back to what you said, like how, like I kind of got known as a fan. So there's more to the story. So every year it just kind of built. And so I'm gonna call this for reference the stop tanking year, like the tank for Tua year.
Yeah.
I made a stop sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. I made a stop sign that said stop tanking, and that was like all over the news. Like it was in the newspapers, the local papers, like everywhere. And so I actually have like a few pictures hanging up in my room that people have sent me from like all over the place of the, the stop tanking picture. And so that was like a viral controversy. Like I was part of a controversy. Like, are they tanking? Are they not tanking? And like,
and now were we tanking? I mean, it's like,
right? It's still, I can't even believe that like we're still talking about this topic, and they're saying, well, they didn't find proof that we were tanking, but I still believe.
Are we going off on like so we can get back to your, cause it's stories and it's like in levels. So I guess let's taper off real quick on this thing. What how weren't we tanking? But then again, it's like, why? Like, what else would we do? I mean, like we were competitive that season at the end of the season, but it's like, damn, should we have just tanked for Burrow? I mean, other teams are doing it all the time. I mean, no, I like Tua, but it's like Burrow right now is that guy. So it's like, shit, like I know you weren't part of it because you said stop tanking at the stop sign, but we're being like real. It's like, it's that tough. Like, there's no way we weren't tanking, and if these reports are accurate, I mean, we more likely were, or like Stephen Ross was trying to at least, and Flores wasn't having it. But it's like, it's such a tough thing. Like, did you really, like, in the deep down in your heart, did you really want to stop tanking, or were you like, let's tank this season for Burrow?
So I am never going to be a fan of tanking because I'm a fan and I pay money to come see this team win. Like, I'm a season ticket holder. My whole life is dedicated to the Dolphins and their success. So for me, tanking was just kind of like, we can get quality players without having to do that. And because Tua was projected to be the #1 pick, I understand why they started on the path that they did. And then it was like, okay, once Tua got injured and his draft capital, his stake was like, it was dropping, they were like, okay, we could afford to lose a few games and maybe we could still get him. And so I'm like, oh, ironic, like, and then I have this picture. I know you can't see it, but there's the stop tanking sign is right here and it's framed and it has the picture with it.
Did you sign it for yourself?
No, but I did. I was like, that's important. I'm going to keep that up on the wall. So as soon as, we start calling out the Dolphins, for the tanking and the media starts talking about it, then they're like, you can't do this anymore because now people are talking about it. And so then they started to win. Okay,
we were getting destroyed in the media.
Ironic how and the tank for Tua, like people are wearing t-shirts saying tank for Tua, and then we ultimately get Tua because of how strategically they did it. And I'm like,
it was an odd, weird situation.
Yeah. And I saw them, make, pathetic calls in front of my face.
What was it that? Was that Steelers? Was the Steelers right with the all-out blitz on like 4th down, and then they scored? It's like, come on. There's no way you're telling me we're not tanking this game.
Yeah,
it was impossible.
That was the game that the stop tanking photo was taken where I was extremely pissed. It's like I'm a super pissed off photo.
And then how can
wearing this shirt actually in the photo?
Really? That's wild. Because like, but then Flores like, I don't want to tank. Well, then what was that call? How did it get approved? You must have been a part of it.
And so then there's this whole thing like Flores saying, okay, I was offered money to tank, but I didn't take it. So like everybody's like, oh, they didn't tank.
Really?
Oh, okay.
So why'd you do the all-out blitz?
So maybe Flores didn't tank, and that's fine. Maybe he it, but it's obviously it takes a lot more. And, people aren't talking, but whatever. Okay. The NFL does their investigation and they find that there's no proof of tanking. So let's let it lie.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But then who knows? And then the whole tampering thing, which is a whole other topic, is like every team tampers, but of course, every team tampers. It's crazy. How do people get signed a minute after free agency starts?
Right. There had to be discussions prior to that, right?
100%. It's retarded.
Annoyed, though. I'm annoyed that it was Brady. Like, it's such a conflict of interest.
It's tough. It's like, I had this actually at the end of the podcast, but we're here now. Would you have really wanted Brady? I mean, it's kind of so tough. It's like Brady won on the Bucks. So it's like, apparently Ross, this was his man. So it's like, damn, our team was pretty good that year too, like besides the quarterback at that point. Do you think if you're fantasy booking this, you're the GM, are you on board or also you're like, all right, if we can get Brady, we're getting him, or no, you know what, let's go youth, let's go with Tua?
This is like literally where it is the biggest controversy as a fan, because I've built my entire life saying F Tom Brady. Like literally we wake up and I have a group chat of, you know, friends in the morning. The first thing we say is F Tom Brady every morning. That's our thing. And I'm like, Tom Brady could have been a Dolphin and we could have possibly gone to the Super Bowl.
And imagine I'm in Rhode Island. I'm surrounded by Patriot fans and Brady supporters and fake bandwagon Patriot fans. So I'm so 100%. Sorry. Oh my, it's still worse. So I'm ultimate fuck Tom Brady. But after he left New England, I'm like, damn, this guy's pretty cool. Fuck. This guy's like, he seems like the man, like cool to hang out with. He's funny on Instagram. He's funny on Twitter and shit. It's like, damn. And
I have so much respect for him. I really do. But I mean, I have respect for him as a player and as a person and like, you know, everything. Yeah. But that would have been a major conflict of interest. But at the end of the day, like, I'm a Dolphin fan and I want the team to win and I want us to get there. But I hope we can get there with Tua.
That'd be cool, 100%. So we can get to Tua. Let's get back to your story. So now you're famous at Tank Year. Did something more happen after that Tank Year or during that season?
So nothing really defining happened during the COVID year, except that, you know, I was going to games and, you know, a lot of people weren't able to go. Like we had limited, limited attendance. And so there was a few just pictures, you know, like the photographers tend to find me.
You're the celebrity fan.
Yeah, they tend to find my crew, my posse. We dress, you know, very vividly. And so, you know, also we wear our feelings on our faces.
Oh, for sure.
So like there were many times where I'm just like in the stands like that, and they see me, and you know that becomes a photo, like a viral photo, whatever. Like, oh my God, everyone feels like Dolphreaky feels. Like we all feel that frustration, and it's been things like that just over the years. And then last year, last year was so amazing. Like I did so many things, and I had so much fun. But I think the biggest thing was after I attended the Bucks game, I was frustrated because I had gone to Tampa and their experience in the stadium was just amazing. Like it was over the top, everything. And granted, I know that it was after a Super Bowl. And, you know, after you win a Super Bowl, you get a lot of nice things, right?
Oh, 100%.
And the fans are there and, you know, they have Tom Brady. So I understand all of that. But what got me fired up was like all of the things that we used to have. Like we used to have the Phins celebration before the games where they would have, you know, like Solo D would perform and they would have the cheerleaders and like Publix would be out there giving away stuff and they would have the mascot out there with the kids and like there was photo ops and all of these things they did before the game. They did away with that with COVID and didn't bring it back. Also like the t-shirt, like they shoot the t-shirt.
Yeah, they shoot out like the grenade thing.
All of those like fun things that basically made me a fan as a kid. They did away with it come COVID and COVID was the excuse. But really
worst.
What got me so fired up was that a member of the Phins force came to me in my seat in Tampa and said, look at all the things that are going on here. They were throwing koozies, sunglasses, t-shirts, beads. I left with handfuls of Buccaneers merch.
Like, damn, I'm a Bucs fan? Fuck.
And everybody got it. Like nobody left empty-handed, and the kids were dying over this. And this member of the Phins force, which was like the people who would be like kind of down on the field to get the crowd hyped, and you know they would do tricks and they would say like stand up, it's third down, like all of those things. This guy came down and he's like, look what's going on here. He's like, they did away with the Phins force. They basically either fired all of us or they quit. And so
are they traveling with the team?
Yeah, they travel
nice.
to the games or whatever. And so I was frustrated because I'm like, those are the things that made me a fan.
Sure.
And like that's the extra. When the team is doing bad, at least you have that fun fan experience. It's still fun to go to the game whether they win or lose, right?
Not for sure.
So then he's starting to tell me like that it all came down to Garfinkel and like the culture that the Dolphins were trying to create was more corporate based, and they were selling more seats to corporations and trying to make money that way instead of actually like putting fan butts in the seats. And I was like, I can see that, because I could see we would go to these games and there would be visiting fans outnumbering us.
It was crazy. So like during like obviously the Patriots dynasty over here, a lot of people, even myself, I would go to like Miami games, like Miami Patriot games in Miami, and it would be cheaper than to go to a New England game.
Yep.
Like 300 seats were literally like $400. It was cheaper to buy a flight and buy a ticket to Miami to go to a game. Mm-hmm. So I know Patriot games were stocked with Patriot fans. I can imagine. I mean, I would go to a couple, but I can imagine like so every other team must be doing the same exact thing.
Yeah, and then like, okay, the Patriots, have been relevant for many years now. We haven't, so I get that, that discrepancy. And a lot of people say, well, it's because the team can't win. The team can't win, so like people are just coming to Miami for vacation, and they're from all different teams, and they're like, oh, we'll stop over there and we'll do the Dolphin game and whatever. So I go, I'm sitting, I come home. I'm so fired up, and I'm sitting at my makeup stand and I'm getting ready for work, and my husband is there getting ready, and I'm like, I'm just so frustrated. Like, I just have to get all of this off my chest. Yeah, and he's like, just write it down. So I sat with my phone and I had my talk to text. I'm like, talking to the phone, and he's like, you need to post that, because he heard me like say the whole thing. He's like, you need to post that. And I thought, no, because I don't really want to paint the Dolphins and the organization in a negative light. I don't want them to think that I'm not grateful for like everything they do. And he's like, just do it. Just like put it on Facebook and see what happens. So I go.
You gotta do it.
I did it. So I go to work, and all of a sudden my phone is like bzz, 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 going off, and I'm like, something's happening. So I look at my phone, and so somebody took a screenshot of the post, and it went on Twitter. I'd only posted it on Facebook on my private page. Somebody put it on Twitter, then it was on Instagram, and all of a sudden everybody's talking about the rant. So in my rant, I said, where's our mascot? Where's TD? Where's Air TD? For those who don't know, there's like the plushy doll character TD, and then there's Air TD, who's blow up, like a blow up TD. But those get that gets the fans going and everything. So I was like, where the heck is TD? Where's the giveaways? Those are the things that like get the fans hype. Why don't people know that they're supposed to be loud on, third down? Like, where's the Phins force? So all these things, and everybody shared in it, like they're all like, yeah, and this and this and this. And so we're like coming out with all these things that we want to change about the fan experience in Hard Rock.
That's what's up.
And so then they're sending it to their ticket reps. They're sending it to the Dolphins front office. They're tweeting it all over the place. It's been shared like 600 times on Twitter, and like all these retweets and everything. So it's very overwhelming. But
that's when you became famous in public. Some people were like, oh, is that Dolphreaky over there? That's the Rant girl.
Then it was like, oh, who's this? Like, why should they followed me there. And then I hosted a tailgate wedding.
A wedding? Tailgate wedding?
A wedding, yes.
Oh, I think I've seen that on your IG story. That's crazy.
So me and my friend Karen, we were asked to put on a tailgate wedding, and I was like, yeah, like I'm totally down for a challenge. And this couple, Dean and Sandy, they met as a result of the Dolphins, and they're like Dolphin diehards, and so it was like so special. We threw it down at the East 12. And the Dolphins came out. Like, I had asked if they could come and, like, bring TD out. And so that game was the return of TD.
Hey, it's because of you.
And then that game, they had T-shirt tosses. They had this and that. And so then everybody's like, oh, my God, Dolphreaky, save the fan base, all this stuff.
Hey, sometimes you gotta bring up the stuff so pot changes can come about.
Yeah, and, like, if you have feelings about something that's going on, say it. Because I'm sure there's a million other people who feel the same way. And worst case scenario, nothing happens, but at least you spoke up.
That's true. That's a life lesson right there for sure too.
Yeah. So then it was Dolphreaky saved the fan base, and now TD came back, and then so we were at the end of our losing streak, and then we started winning, and so then now they're like, oh my God, Dolphreaky saved the season.
That's crazy. What's the odds of that happening?
It was very funny, like just how it went, and like I'm not sure, like maybe the Dolphins were planning to bring TD back and do all of those things before the rant anyway. But
you got to take credit for the rant. It's all you. You brought Dolphreaky back. Dolphreaky brought him back.
Yeah, it's funny. So it was just like little things like that happened. Like every year there was something.
Yeah,
so.
And you're not even doing it to like, oh, I'm in a game followers doing this. You genuinely like the Dolphins, and this is just happening off your emotions. You're like, I'm doing this. I love them, and then this is what happens.
I just like, I feel like as a fan, I want to influence what happens with my team. I want them to win, and I want them to know how the fans feel. So if I'm a voice for what the fans are feeling, like, I'm happy to do that.
100%. And Finlenser, what is it again? Finlenser? I can't even say it.
Finfluencer.
Oh, Finfluencer. That's cool. That's what's up. Because I'm not saying, like, it's crazy because, like, even when we had like down times, it's so random. I had like 3 friends who are Dolphins friends because fans, because they're not around here. Then I have like 2 of my friends. One lives in Boston. One's from Providence. And then I have like, if I'm just like really bad or really good, I'll randomly message you on DM. And then we'll talk for a little bit. It's like, damn, what the hell? We suck. I remember talking last year after like maybe like the 7th loss, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Yep.
And we just had a quick back and forth, and it's just like genuine conversation about the Dolphins. And it's like, all right, I can tell when someone like genuinely cares. No one else is doing this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm that fan. Like my friends, some of my friends don't even watch games with me because they're like, "F you gets too crazy."
Yeah, that's
I get that. I'm that guy.
It is with me too. Like my father is the reason that I'm a fan to begin with, and he won't even go with me to the game now because like the experience when you go with me is very overwhelming. Like you do need to stop and wait for me to take this picture with this person and like all these things. And my dad's like, I am not going with you anymore. Like,
yeah, I'm psychotic with the Dolphins and Celtics. I went to a game. I'm not sure if you're a basketball fan, but I went to game 3 of the Celtics game. Finals. Losing my mind. Luckily, we won. We lost the series, but during that game, I was going nuts. So, like, I can't even imagine my heart rate if we make the Super Bowl. I might die. I might die.
It feels weird to be in a place now where there's so much hype about the Dolphins, and they're like, this could be the year. This could be the year. We could make the playoffs, and I would be very, very happy with that. But this is a year like we could go all the way, and like to feel that and to think, what would that be like?
My God!
I'm not prepared.
I don't know. I don't give a shit what the ticket cost is. I'm at that Super Bowl. First of all, I'm at every playoff game. I'm at the Super Bowl. I'm put up in my house. I don't care. I'm there. There's no way I'm not there. My boy's a Rams fan, and he went to the Super Bowl this year, and he's like, there's nothing like it. He's like, literally, I don't have no regrets how much money I spent. I don't give a shit. It was the best money of my life.
I told my husband, I'm like, I will sell the house. Like, I will sell the car. Like, I don't care because, like, I would literally sell everything in my Dolphin room to be able to go because that is ultimately the thing that I've longed for my entire life. Like, I'm a, like, young fan. I've never seen us really be good. You know, you too. Like, we're suffering.
Worse. We've had, made the playoffs twice since, like, probably, like 3 times since I've been born. So it's like, jeez. It's like, what the hell? Like, meanwhile, New England fans are spoiled over here. And it's like, I'm surrounded by all these.
And they're spoiled rotten.
It's the worst. It's the worst. Like, and now I can't, like, I'm having a full conversation about, like, us maybe making the Super Bowl, which is, I would say maybe it's like a stretch. I don't know. But I'm definitely thinking playoffs for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But depending how we click, we could. But then still dealing with the Patriot fans over here, like, oh, you're just being that typical Dolphins fan. It's like, dude, shut up. Yep. Shut up. Just dealing with the typical haters, but you already know.
We're always going to be defined by the past until we change, you know, the direction that we're going in. And so I'm like, please let this be the year because I stress myself. Like, the person that I am in the beginning of the season is not the same person I am at the end of the season. At the end of the season, I'm like wiped out. Like I've given my heart and soul to every minute of everything Dolphins. Like
especially every season,
everything.
How I feel like we're always good on paper, and the season comes, something happens, and I'm like, God damn! Like last year, I thought it was a season again. I'm over here being cocky. I'm like, nah, we're gonna make the playoffs, and then it doesn't happen. I'm like, damn.
Nobody expected that. Like that roller coaster season last year, nobody saw that happening
at all.
Losses, wins, and then just missed the playoffs. Like that was too much for me.
The worst. And then,
that was damaging.
For me too. Then I'm over here. Oh, nah, Jacoby's going to be good. He's a good backup. Tua gets hurt. I'm like, God damn it, this guy sucks.
He's terrible.
He's terrible. Tua's better with a broken finger. I'm like, God damn, this guy was awful. So
it just means we're good fans, though, that we believe that, you know, anybody can.
I don't bet. Like, I don't gamble at all. Mm-hmm. And I'm over here taking bets. My friends who are Dolphins, who are Patriot fans, I'm like, nah, we're going to have a better record than you guys this year. I'm a nice guy. I end up paying. I'm like, God damn it. I was all cocky. I'm over here thinking we're making over the playoffs over the Patriots, and then, well,
Yeah.
at least they got blown out, but whatever.
The most devastating game last year for me was the Tennessee game.
Oh, oh.
It hurt so bad.
I knew that was gonna happen. I knew Tannehill was gonna beat us.
Yeah.
I was actually coming back from a trip. I was coming back from Italy. I paid for Wi-Fi to watch the game, and I was just devastated on the plane. I'm like, I knew Tannehill was gonna do this. This douche.
Yeah, I was physically there in the snow, like the sleet, and I'm like, I'm from Pennsylvania originally, but I'm conditioned for Florida, and so
I'm sure at this point, yeah.
it was tough having to sit there and having freezing rain and being soaked all the way through and get beat 45 to whatever.
Wait, was that game in Miami or in Tennessee?
No, it was in Tennessee, and it was awful. Like, it was so devastating. And then, like, we needed that win so bad to, like, make the playoffs, and then they didn't make it happen. And it was just, we had such a good time. Like, it's great because the tailgates that we put on are so much fun that, like, that helps a little bit.
Wait, so getting back, we're all over the place. Like I said, this is an interview. It's out here free flowing, which is cool.
I could talk forever, so watch out.
Me too. I have 55 episodes in this podcast. I'm good at hosting. So back to this tailgating stuff. So I was waiting to announce this with you. I actually just became a season ticket holder this year.
Yes! Congratulations.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, I seen I don't know who, I think it was maybe Omar retweeted it. He was like, "Oh, season tickets are about to sell out for the first time in franchise history." And I'm like,
and
what?
They did.
Yeah, I'm like, what? This was 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, you know what? Cause I know in the Patriots over here, I have a bunch of friends who try to be on the season ticket list, and they're like, dude, I was waitlisted forever.
I know. I heard it's like a 50-year wait.
Yeah, my friend was waitlisted for 25 years. He just got approved this year, and he's like, great, the year we suck.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that probably does suck to finally get through, and like, okay, nobody's talking about them.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get in because I'm a huge Dolphins fan anyway. I go to Miami pretty often. I'm like, you know what? It's worth it. It's worth. I can sell tickets to the games I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I can sell them. I was thinking literally of you because I'm like, I can just tag her and she'll retweet it. Or someone buy for Dolphins fans.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go to week 1, maybe week 2, maybe against the Bills too, but definitely Patriots, definitely the Browns game, and I think I'm gonna go to the Steelers game. So someone like new like me. So how are you introducing people into the community? Where can they go for tailgating? Where can they find this information at? What should they expect going to it? Kind of a loaded question right there, but I feel like it all goes one to the same. So what would you say about someone like me or anybody like me buying new season tickets this year?
So, I mean, the most direct way to get information from me is just to send a DM, through Instagram or Twitter or whatever. But there are a lot of resources. So believe it or not, the Dolphins website is a great resource. And for some reason, people just don't use it. And I'm like, all the information about parking is there, and all the maps, and so you can find the tailgates and all that stuff is there. But I do have a friend, Ashley, who has a website, and she made the website specifically to help fans find where they need to go if they want to come to Miami for a game. And so it's 305sportsbabe.com. And so she has a whole section. She asked, my advice and a lot of other people's advice for their top hotels, best tailgating places, which in my opinion is East 12.
That's what I was going to ask though, because, I've been to a bunch of football games in general. I would say the best experience I ever had for NFL gotta be the Saints game. I went to 2 Saints games, but I went last year for Halloween. It was just dope experience. The fans are so chaotic there, and I hope Miami gets to that point, because I've been to a bunch of games in Miami, and it's never like that, like you said. So many empty seats when I've been there, because it's been rough for such a long time. But hopefully now with the season tickets selling out, it's different. But point that being said is, I've been to a bunch of games, and there's never where is this one spot where fans can gather together who don't know each other? Where's gonna be a good spot? Because you said the Dolphins website has it, but it's are they giving the good details, or is it giving random ones where they pay hundreds or $200 to go into? Is there a secret spot to go? Like you said, East 12, is that the secret spot, I'm assuming?
Yeah, that's my secret spot, because that's that's the tailgate that brought me into the fold when I was a new fan visiting Miami and didn't know where to go. And I was like just captivated by the people there. They were so welcoming, and they were just like, yeah, here's a drink, here's some food, like come sit down,
That's what's
come
up.
talk. We have a DJ, we dance, we do all kinds of things out there. And so I was like, well, I belong here because I want to do the same thing for other fans. So if you are, looking for a tailgate, East 12 is a great place to start. And obviously there's amazing tailgates all around the stadium. I know there's like this battle between East Side, West Side, and like West Side.
Oh, really?
No, we throw the best tailgate, and the East is like, no, we do. But anyway, you can find a lot of cool tailgates, and I like to walk through the aisles and like see what people are doing because they're all so different. But ours is more of like where you can find like the known fans that you see like in the media, and like people like Chucky and Stripe and like people from the deep end. So a lot of people like to start there because it's a place to meet like people that you might recognize. And everybody who comes through is like instantly family, and we like have a lot of alcohol flowing, and we just have like
That's
so
always
much
good.
fun, and it's really, really fun. And so this year we have a lot of different things going on. I have some friends who are putting together like a partnership with a vodka company. I don't want to like say too much, that's their thing, but they are doing that, so there'll be like a $25 like all you can eat and drink thing there, but just behind
East 12
at East 12. Yep,
nice.
So that's a new thing we're starting this year. And just behind us is East 32, and they are actually with tailgreeter.com. And Tailgreeter is like a place you can go to like buy into the tailgate, and that's all you can eat and drink. But it's like, I think it's like $50 if I'm not mistaken. But they do an amazing thing. So like, I love that they're part of our row because we can just like walk up and back and forth and get to see everybody.
So East 12 is like East Block 12.
Yes, it's
I don't know
orange.
if there's like some sneaky like weird thing because like in New Orleans is like the weirdest numbering system over there. So
yeah, it's an orange parking lot. And so if you're coming off of the turnpike, it's like immediately to the right hand side. I don't know exactly the entrance number. I should probably know that, but I don't because I just know right where to go. But yeah, like typically parking is very, very limited in there. So a lot of people will park in yellow across the street and then just walk over to East 12 and like hang out. But it's really fun. And we like a lot of like your go-getter kind of fans, like the people who run the clubs, like the fan clubs, all over the country are there. And, a lot of our like fan leaders. So they're all great resource. But yeah, feel free to just message me if you need something. I'm constantly going through my messages and trying to get everybody like where they need. So
no, for sure. Yeah, so reach out to Dolphreaky if you ever go to Miami or Miami. And do you guys do like tailgates at other like away games as well?
Yes. Oh my God. So
are you coordinating those?
No, thank God. So typically that falls on the responsibility of the local club. So like for instance, Baltimore, like I am traveling to Baltimore, Chicago.
That's
going to
be Baltimore is going to be a rowdy one.
Yeah. So Steven Daniels from Miami Sports Music, he lives in Baltimore or in Maryland. So he is putting together a big tailgate, and that's also through tailgreeter.com. So tailgreeter.com is a good resource for tailgates all over, not just Dolphins, but any team. So,
oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's awesome. They do a lot of good tailgates. And so that the local fan clubs there, like kind of like in Virginia and Maryland, they are all kind of putting together that sort of thing. And so Baltimore is going to be really, really fun. And we do try to have an organized tailgate. We try to like bring East 12, like wherever we're going. Yeah, and so like out in California, the clubs will take care of those games. So there's always things going on, and I do try to post as much of that as I can, like on my Instagram stories, just to try to keep everybody in the know. Like, hey, if you're looking for a party or you're looking for like a watch party, like watch parties especially, because I run Southwest Florida Dolphin Club here.
Hey.
Yeah, so we have watch parties for away games because most of us do go to the home games. But like there's fan clubs all over the country, so there's plenty of resources.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, like I said, I didn't know that. Like, I don't know. I guess I just didn't know. Like when I go to like I went to a Jets Miami game 2 years ago, and I didn't know. I was just walking around the stadium, and I was like, oh, like it's different when you're like by yourself or like just with your friend going to a game. You don't know where to go. You don't want to just run up to someone's tailgate because you just don't want to be that guy. I'm sure some people are, but I'm not that guy. So it's cool to know these resources now. I'm sure a lot of people it's definitely helpful for them as well.
Oh yeah, there's definitely resources, and yeah, of course, definitely some tailgates are more welcoming than others, but you won't find a more welcoming tailgate than East 12.
Hey, I can't wait to see week 1. I'm 100% going to be there.
Yes, do come through. So that's an important thing too. So I'm doing a food drive. I just recently started my own nonprofit charity, Dolphreakys Phriends Incorporated. So we're doing a food drive that game.
Right,
so come through, bring some canned goods. It's also a cat food drive, so bring some cat food.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So what got you started doing that? What was the ambition behind that?
Yeah, so I was inspired by a lot of the charities from different NFL teams. So, for example, like the Raiders fan base, they do a lot for charity. They do a lot of like awareness campaigns for suicide awareness and things like that. And I was just like, I have this platform, and I don't want to take this for granted, and I want to do something to help the community. And so there were different, charities that kind of started within the fan base, one of them being the Positive Porpoise, and they were a big inspiration. They kind of like used raffles to collect money and donated a lot to charity and stuff. So I was like, what can I do that's different and that doesn't require a lot of money? So I just came up with the idea for more of like a community service type of charity where we, do food drives and just, collect donations. I want to do clothing drives, toy drives, all that sort of thing. And then I also want to do like highway cleanups and beach cleanups and, just things to serve the community and like, visit children in hospitals and those sorts of things that we can just bring our spirit out to the community.
That's awesome. Are you close to any like the players where they can come up and help you? Like, I'm not sure anybody in the team, like they'll come up and help you visit a kid in the hospital or do anything along those lines as well?
Yeah, that's something that I'm working on. And a lot of our former players, they already have their charities. And so that's a good opportunity for me to kind of collaborate.
That's
awesome. So I'll be having all of those discussions. I'm just starting out. So the food drive is like my first endeavor. I just finally got the website up and running. So it's dolphreakysfriends.org. And there's just a lot of my ideas that that I want to do, and I just think with this fan base and like there's a lot of people in my area, especially in Southwest Florida and South Florida in general, like we could really organize some really cool groups to go out and do things, and it'll be fun and it'll be helpful and just kind of show like Dolphin fans are more than just Dolphin fans.
Of course, more than psychotic Dolphins fans like me and you.
More than just a starving fan base.
Hoping for a playoff win, God.
Yeah.
Or appearance at least. I'll take a win. I don't care about the appearance. I want to win if we're going to make the playoffs.
Yes, please.
So I was going to say, what was the transition from Pennsylvania to Florida in the first place? How'd you end up there?
Of course. I wanted to be within driving distance of the Dolphins.
Really? That's the main reason?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's cool. That's what's up.
And I fell in love with Florida just having visited my entire childhood, and I had family down here, and I was just like, I need like the weather. Back in I was living in Philadelphia for pharmacy school, and it was just dreadful, and everyone was so upset all the time and mad and angry and honking, and I'm like, I just need to go somewhere where it's more chill. And so I told my husband, I'm like, we gotta move. Like I gotta get to South Florida. I need to be like in the culture, and I need to have season tickets, and I just want to be as active in the community as I can. And he didn't want to come.
No, really? I thought you were taking like an eye. He's like, nah, I'm not going.
No, so like a lot of people don't realize like my husband's not a football fan at all. Like people think he made me this way.
Yeah, like now I'm trying to get him to be a Dolphins fan. He won't budge.
He's very, very supportive of it. He comes to the games, and he also watches the kids if I need to come to the game and we don't have somebody to to watch the kids and stuff. So all of that I appreciate so much, and he knows like this is my thing and it's my passion, and he's very supportive of it, and he comes, like he reps the Dolphins. Like he doesn't have any other team. It's just that when we met, he was a clean slate.
Hey, you gotta corrupt him at that point. Like my brother, I corrupted my brother. Mm-hmm. Everyone's like, he plays football and blah 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 blah, but he doesn't really watch games. Mm-hmm. So when people ask him like, what fan are you? He's like, I guess I'm a Dolphins fan because of Effie. So it's like, I'll take it.
That's good. Yeah, anybody who's a blank slate needs to be converted immediately.
Convert quickly. Mm-hmm. So that's crazy. So the dynamic usually is the guy has that man cave. The guy's getting yelled at for buying too much stuff. Yeah. Is that the roles are reversed for you? Is he like, come, on, Allie. And another one. Like,
Yeah.
where else are you gonna put it? Is that the dynamic there with you guys?
That is definitely the dynamic. And honestly, he knows that if it has a Dolphins logo on it, I'm going to buy it. So, half the time he just buys it.
Hey,
But he knows I'm a little bit out of control. Like, it's getting to the point now where there's not a whole lot more that I can dolphinize in this house. Like,
I'm sure you can. I got faith in you. You can do it.
I have tried to limit the dolphin memorabilia to this particular room. But
that means
now
you need a bigger room.
Yeah, and it's now carried over onto my car, and so you just know. Like,
Your work office, you got it everywhere.
Yeah,
So-
and like this is my little podcasting area.
Hey, nice. Yeah, I like the area for sure. It's dope. So what is like the most, if you had to, maybe 2 or 3, what's the most absurd like items you have? You just like maybe even look at it and you're like, why did I get this?
I have a lot of weird stuff. Like a lot of the stuff that I have in here, I wish I can show you, but my thing is attached. A lot of the stuff is stuff that I've collected or made. So actually, a lot of the stuff that's behind me, and I was trying to show you some of this.
Oh, I like that one up there.
I have flags from all the different fan clubs. I'm
Oh,
always
that's cool.
collecting more and more. So this is what's kind of unique is my area where all my wigs and my outfits and my shoes and all this stuff is there.
Are those Kobe's up there, top right?
No, these are just your generic sneakers.
I'm a big sneaker person.
Yeah, these are literally, well, there's a pair of Nikes up there, but they're kind of just any sort of
Just dolphin colorways.
Yeah. And then I have all my hard hats because as a result of the stop tanking thing, I was wearing a hard hat at the time with the team being under construction. And so then the hard hat kind of became my thing, and I just started collecting different hard hats. I've had my friend Christian has made me, I think he's made 3 of those, and I've bought some and made them my own, and so I like crafty things. So a lot of the stuff that's in my room is stuff that I've made.
That's cool.
Dolphreaky specific items. And then I have a lot of signed stuff now. I have a Jalen Waddle football, and I have a lot of things that are pretty typical, but just a culmination of all the crap.
Hey, there can never be enough stuff.
That's what I say.
Do you see Chris Barker's room? His stuff is wild.
Yeah, so he actually, I did start a podcast. It was a year ago now, but I decided the podcasting, it just was too much for me, and so
It's a lot.
Yeah, props to you because it is really hard to organize everything and to have the schedule to do these live things and get guests of quality and all that
It's tough.
stuff. Yeah, and so I did one episode, and I had him on my podcast, and he showed off his room. I just had him send in a video because you will never find more signatures in one place.
No way.
Than that guy.
And that guy's stuff is nuts. It's
Yeah.
when I first talked to him, I'm like, what? How many signatures you have? And he's just going over everything. I'm like, everybody knows him. Yeah. He's ultimate VIP. I'm like,
he's at every game.
Yeah, every game. Home, away,
yeah.
preseason, everything. Middle, 50-yard line, front row. I'm like, damn. I thought I was a fan until I met him, and I'm like,
he's the definition of a super fan.
Yes,
and
ultimate.
His mom, Carol, too. They go
She's
everywhere
so nice, yeah.
together, and you will always see them on TV.
Everywhere.
And they are always front and center there. They know a lot of the players, and yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I remember one time, I honestly can't remember who it is, but someone was going to walk by him, and the other player was like, no, you can't. You got to go sign this thing. He was I think it was a rookie. I can't recall. He was like, why? He's like, dude, just do it. You can't skip him. And he's like, oh, all right. He skipped everybody else except for Chris.
Yeah, his helmets are full. You won't find an open spot on these helmets, and there's so much, He actually donated one last year to somebody who was recovering from COVID and having a really hard time. And I was like, Chris, do you know how we can get this? He just wanted a signed jersey or a football, and he's like, I'm gonna send him one of my helmets. And I was like, wow.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super dope. If you had the crazy stuff, what is your favorite piece of memorabilia do you have in your women cave?
That's a hard question. I'm gonna say it's the stop tanking sign because nobody else has that, and it's a recognizable piece, and it's something that kind of defined me for a little bit, and it's still a relevant controversy supposedly. No. So I like that.
It's back. Won't leave us alone.
Yeah.
People hitting me up. I get like annoyed when people are like, "So what's going on? Why'd you guys get your picks taken away?" I'm like, "Dude, shut up." I'm like, everyone does it. Everyone does it. God damn it. Patriots do it all the time. Everyone does it.
The day that I was in the gym when I was sitting there in the locker room, and that I was actually trying to enroll my new team for the Dolphin Cancer Challenge, and I was like, yes, this is going to be so exciting. We have this new
positive
team, and then boom, this thing comes on my phone, and I'm like, I literally was in the locker room. I'm like, what? What are we getting the picks taken away for? Was it the tanking? What was it? They didn't know at first. It was very vague, kind of. And
that's tampering. Cause like, all right.
More details came out, and I was like, I was like in one of those moments where I'm like, there's not enough information. People expect me to like make a statement or something.
Yeah.
And I'm on Twitter, and I'm like, I'll make a statement on this later. And then I decided I'm not making a statement about it at all.
It's like you're the head coach. So what's Dolphreaky saying?
Yeah, like what is Dolphreaky? And they come in my DMs and they're like, "Oh, what do you think? What do you think?" And I'm like, "I think we're gonna be fine, regardless." I'm annoyed by it, but at the same time, I actually gained back a little bit more respect from Stephen Ross because he did everything he could to try to win. Like that.
That's the thing. It's like, you know what? You can say whatever. Like people's like, "Oh, he's incompetent owner," and stuff like that. But like, at the end of the day, one, everyone's doing it. Two, at least he's trying. Sean Payton and Tom Brady. Say if we got them, all right, then what are you gonna say? We would know what he did to get them, but like if we got Sean Payton and Tom Brady, and he showed like he could win still at that point. We said earlier, so at least he's trying. I'm sure other people are doing the same exact shit. They just haven't got caught. So it's like, you know what?
Thanks,
I'll
Coach
take
Flo.
it.
Coach Flo, a whistleblower. Like seriously, like trying to screw us over for the future.
Oh my god,
I
can't imagine that Steelers game. It's gonna be bad. You're like, I know I'm gonna be leading it.
He might want to be concerned for his safety. There might be food fights.
He might be in the press box. That'd be smart for him being in the press box. I mean, he's an assistant linebackers coach. Do you really need to be out there? But I mean, I don't know. But either way, I mean, I have nothing to like. I liked him as a coach. I mean, I just didn't. I mean, but that's like, come on, man. Maybe that's the Dallas fan in me being like, come on, bro. But it's a sticky situation. Yeah,
like he wanted to do the right thing, and I get it. I do, especially because he feels that he was unfairly treated.
No, for sure.
I understand, so I'm not mad at it. I understand we did have to be punished for the tampering, and it was nice, honestly, that like a lot of that money came out of Stephen Ross's pocket.
For sure.
That's your punishment. You deal with it. But at the same time, I'm like, well, it would have been nice to have those picks and not like get caught.
Yeah, no, facts. I mean, do you think that was a chess move at Belichick?
I don't know.
I've seen it's like Belichick's probably happy now. He's like, yeah, he got his rival 2 picks taken away, just over at Tex. I'm like,
God, I hate that man.
that could have been a chess move. I don't know. I can't even hate if it was. I mean, that was smart on his part. If it was.
I know, but there's a lot of politics and a lot of things that go into football behind the scenes that we don't know. And like, I don't know, like I'm just a fan. Like I'm sitting here reading the same news as everybody else and like making opinions on what I read, so it's hard. Like I honestly, I think we're in like a good enough position this year where, those 2 picks won't be, super detrimental.
Yeah. I mean, we had straight as blanking his name, Adam the tight end.
Shaheen. Yeah.
Shaheen. I liked him though, but I mean, I feel like that was a move because of what happened. That was definitely a domino effect move
to try to get back some of the picks. I get that too. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, so what are your expectations for this season? I mean, probably went over already, but like, if you're a betting woman, if you're in Vegas, you're putting the odds together, what would you think our record would and will be this season?
So I went through it and I looked at the schedule, and I did this actually on a podcast. We all kind of like picked it apart, and I think we're gonna go 13-4. And I'm always optimistic, and so I can't see us being any worse than 12-5 with this schedule, with what we know now.
So who would be the 4 losses? I'm assuming the Bills.
I gotta get my list. Hold on. 1, 2. Okay, so I think we're gonna lose in Baltimore and at Cincinnati.
Baltimore owns us. It's so annoying. It is so annoying. Ugh.
Always beating us for the wild cards.
Yes, pisses me off.
It was nice to beat them at home last year in the night game. That was one of my favorite games last year.
The two overturn game.
Yeah, it was. That was fun, and that was a salute to service game, I think, and so that's always fun. I love a night game. I cannot wait for the Steelers night game. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it's me nuts.
So at Cincinnati, I think it's tough, having to travel there and having them coming fresh off a Super Bowl. So that's tricky. And then I think the Chargers will give us trouble, and I think we'll have trouble in Buffalo.
I was going to say, you're being real bold if you think we're sweeping Buffalo.
No.
Yeah, Buffalo's that's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Buffalo's going to be nice this year. I mean, they're the favorites right now. So, it's going to be tough for them, but I think we're going to be competitive with them, though. The AFC West, they're going to cancel each other out. Everyone keeps talking about them, but they face each other twice. So, they're canceling each other out. They have to be. There's no way they can all be good. It's, impossible.
Yeah. And I'm fine if, it comes down to, either the Bills or the Dolphins taking the AFC East and then one getting the wild card. As long as we get into the playoffs, we just need to bust through that door because we haven't been able to. And, that's the first step, and then we can deal with winning after.
100%. So the last time when we faced Baltimore, or we faced Pittsburgh in that our last playoff appearance, do you guys travel together too? Were you at that game, or we have to be in question being say if we were a wild card this year, you think we're all going to be traveling together to whoever place it would be?
I hope so. I was like, oh man, if we make it to the playoffs, this is going to cost me a lot of money. It's gonna be
every game you go into.
I want to be there. And I know I do have a responsibility to my fan club, and to be there. And so it's hard for me to be everywhere at once, but I know my club would also be down to travel. So I'm planning to be wherever we need to be. And so the Steelers game, I was not there. And I actually made the mistake of going to a Steelers bar to watch it.
On purpose, or was it by mistake? You walked in, you're like, oh shit, Pittsburgh fans.
Somebody here organized for us to have a room in that bar. So it'd be fun, to have their fan club and ours and have some friendly banter back and forth.
Until drinks until drinks to kick in, and you're like, you motherfucker, going off.
I was can we go home? I don't like this. Yeah, but it was their house, so I get it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I've been. I go and I don't give a shit. I'll wear Dolphin stuff. But going to Gillette here is it's such a mistake. It's people they got drinks in them. They start talking nonsense, and you're like, dude, relax, man. It's a game. You really want to fight over this?
Oh yeah, I've had to break up my share of fights. Down where I sit, we call it the deep end, and it gets very heated sometimes. There's a lot of alcohol flowing after the tailgate. And
yeah, it's bad. Especially Dolphin heartbreaks after a while. You're like, God damn, and emotions are going around everywhere.
And we make ourselves a target, especially if you're Dolphreaky and you're wearing this, and they're I'm gonna go heckle that one, and then they find me, and then they want to talk shit to me, and I'm like, oh no, I'm not doing that.
You're not doing it, or you going back and forth though? You're like, yeah, I'm not the one. You don't want to start.
You don't want to start. You don't want to hear what I have to say. I'm not gonna punch you in your face, but I will punch you with words.
You're verbally going at them.
But I am a pacifist, so I just want everyone to remember it is a game.
Yeah, and, of course.
We don't need to have fans getting violent out there and making a fool of our fan base. If Dolphin fans get videotaped beating up Jets fans, it's not a very good look for us. And
we'll be the ones too. We'll be all over ESPN. Look at these Dolphins fans. All right, every other team, it's the worst, but we get criticized by the media all the time.
Yep. It's because we're high drama, and they love to hate us. I don't know why.
Even Tua's still getting it. It's dude, what does he have to do? There's so many practice videos of him throwing the deep ball. It's what is this narrative they can't throw the deep ball? It doesn't make sense.
I know.
And then it's And it's like, oh, Mac Jones, so good. It's like, dude, what? All right, if I'm being like realistically humble, if I'm like comparing them all, I think Jalen Hurts, Mac, and Tua are all the same level right now. They all haven't proven anything. They all kind of like improvement years. Definitely Jalen is. Definitely Mac is. Especially, like, he had a pretty good season last year. Perfect system for Mac. The Tua, obviously, we all know Tua stuff. Wrong system. Flores don't like him. Freaking fits. The whole, everything against Tua. His hip, everything.
Agreed.
But, all being said, they're all on the same level. So when people are like, oh, Mac's so good. Mac's doing this. Mac's jacked. Mac isn't jacked. He had a picture of him wearing a gray shirt. He looks exactly the damn same. But it's like that narrative where it's like Mac is so good, Mac does nothing wrong, and then it's like Tua sucks, you can't throw a deep ball. It's like, I don't get. The
fans and the media create those narratives.
Yeah.
Like, when you really look at it, like, everybody needs to like formulate their own non-biased opinion. And like, honestly, just with Tua, like you said, poor Tua has been set up to fail up until now, where he finally have a fresh slate for him, a new, very motivated coach, you know, very offensively minded,
100%.
and then also we have huge weapons for him now, and like Waddle's in his prime, and Tyreek is ready to freaking go.
Gesicki's good.
Gesicki, oh my God, the new run game we have, like, I just think now there's, okay, like, people are saying, well, like, everyone's saying no excuses for Tua now, but yeah, no, like, not that he's ever made excuses for himself, but Dolphin Nation has made a lot of excuses for why, you know, why he's not where he needs to be. And so I will defend Tua till the end, you know, because he's my quarterback.
Hey, you pulled the TL right there. How are you feeling about cocky Tua? You liking cocky Tua? Sassy Tua in the media?
Yeah, I like it.
I like it a lot too. I think it should be a little bit more like, you guys want to be on my ass? I'll be a little bit more cocky too. I'm loving it.
They think I can't throw the deep ball. Well, let's see.
I love that one. He's like, I don't know. It was nice. It was right in the pocket. And I'm like, bro, keep doing that. Keep doing that, bro.
Yes. Give them a little fire.
Exactly.
Did you see like this Twitter thing from the other day that I accidentally started, but it wasn't my fault?
Maybe. I see a lot. I see, like, I'm on Dolphin Twitter nonstop, so I've more than likely seen it.
So did you see the middle finger to a picture?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that was my photo, but it wasn't my photo. They cropped out his finger, and it was him, like, kind of giving, like, a peace sign to the fans, like, hey, thanks, you know, like, that kind of thing. And somebody, I'm not going to say who, because we all know who. He calls himself the king of Phinland.
That dude always pops up on my Twitter. Always. Shots
mine
fired.
too. I was just saying, because I literally, like, unfollowed him as a result of this because I was so mad, and he's still showing up on my Twitter.
You gotta block him. You gotta block him.
Yeah, like, he's like, yes, this is true. And I'm like, no, this is not true. This is fake news. Yes. I literally took that picture with my cell phone, and there was no heckling. There was no issues. He was being very well received. Everyone was dying to touch him and, like, have him sign and all of this stuff. And I'm like, to create a damaging narrative about somebody like that is like, whoa. Especially
when he's starting to get his, like, narrative turned around finally. It's like, dude, you really gonna start this up again?
And then we have so-called fans, like, doing this. And so I got mad. I got mad on Twitter, but then I decided to forgive him. I was
about to say, because King of Phinland, you would think he's a Dolphins fan.
Yeah, his whole thing is like, I'm the king, you know, like...
You're like,
are you the king of controversy?
That's hilarious.
Watching, I don't know if he's watching or not, but anyway.
Oh, I'm sure he is. You're the finfluencer, so I'm sure you got everybody here watching.
They're like, oh my God, Dolphreaky, he, like, took your picture and he changed it. You got to call him out. And I'm like, yes, I'm on it.
The verbal controversy. I'll get at you real quick.
Yeah, and I usually, like I said, I try to keep the peace, but if something's wrong, I'm going to call it out.
Is that the same day that you posted that Tua dubbed you?
Yes, that was the same. It was the same post.
Yeah.
It wasn't his fault, by the way, and I don't have any hard feelings. It was just a joke. But so, like, I was in, like, the VIP tent thing, and, like, I realized it started raining after practice, and I realized, okay, the players are going inside. They're not coming to us. So I was like, I told my husband, I'm like, I got to run across this, you know, the other side, because where, like, the family and friends tent is like, that's where they sign. And I saw Tua over there. I'm like, I gotta go. So I took my little football, and I go over there. And I have my marker, and I'm like, Tua, like, hi, it's me, Dolphreaky.
He probably follows you. He's probably like, I know who you are.
He's like, Nope, he just kept going. And granted, like, okay, like there's a lot of little children in front, so please, yes, take care of the children. And you can tell he was just surely exhausted from the practice and the heat and the rain and everything.
And the media.
And the people screaming. He wanted to get the heck out of there, so he didn't do it on purpose.
Have you met Tua before?
No.
No? I feel like I have this image I just know everybody. Like everybody knows who you are. You're getting like you're like Barker. Barker knows everybody.
No, I don't have access to the players like that. You know, I have a few that like we've talked.
Yeah.
But and like Tyreek, like I said hi. I was like,
Tyreek seems cool. Dude, Tyreek is jacked.
Dude, I have the pictures to prove that he's jacked.
He is humongous.
I'm in the gym now, like trying to get my biceps like Tyreek. And he's so fast and lean.
It's up his nuts. Hey guys, great conversation with my girl Dolphreaky. Make sure to go follow her on all social medias, Dolphreaky and everything. And guys, make sure you also follow me, SWFL, on all social medias, because I'll be doing live streams during the games on EG Pot of Thunder, during Dolphins games, the games I'm not at, I'll be doing live streams. So let's interact, talk Dolphins. You know, I'm crazy fan. I can't wait for the season. It's high expectations, and hopefully Tua can exceed them, because I have faith in the team this year, baby. Let's get it. The Penguin and the Cheetah. I'm excited. Make sure you go follow EG Pot of Thunder, TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, all podcast platforms. We're there. I love the support. Appreciate it. And yeah, can't wait for the season. Tune into those live streams, because it should be a good time. Can't wait for the season. And I'll see you guys at some home games too. I'll be at the Patriots, the Browns, and hopefully the Steelers game. So I'll be at East 12 with Dolphreaky. Make sure you go follow her for all the tailgate information, baby. Let's get it. Let's get back to our conversation with Dolphreaky. A perfect segue. So you want to be jacked. I've seen your journey. How did you even get into the fitness journey? Because I see you're going off in the gym, looking good. So how did that even go about? What was it like? Did something happen? Were you just like, enough's enough? Or you saw Tyreek Hill and you're like, you know what? I'm going to be like Tyreek.
Something definitely happened. I had kids and I had babies back to back. And so along with that came 25 pounds of weight with each one. And so then I got to the point where I was like exhausted all the time, and I had 2 under 2, and I'm like trying to keep up with them, and I just, none of my fins clothes fit, and I was like, I don't want to.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Like, I don't want everybody to be like, oh my God, like what happened to Dolphreaky? Like she really just like lost control of herself, and that's not me. Like I've always been lean. I've always been somewhat athletic, and I hated it.
Yeah, because you've been in the public eye. You said for what? Oh, you said 20 years at this point?
Yeah, well, since like 2009. I became a fan in like 2000. So you know, it didn't really get crazy until like more recently. But
it's like 11 years in the eye. So you're in the back of your head. You're like, damn, I can't have this image. Like, I
don't want that image. And then I just felt too, because I had a hernia in my stomach, like above my belly button. And that was a result of the pregnancies, and both of my kids were 8 pounds, and like on my stature, I'm like 5'1", and so they did some damage internally.
That's
and
crazy.
I couldn't work out. Like I had so much pain. I like literally had this ball sticking out like above my belly button that I had to push in and then wrap with like an abdominal binder. So I decided, I was like, if I want to get fit, I have to have this surgery to fix the hernia. And then that took time to heal. And then eventually I was like, I'm going all in. Like now I have no excuses. I'm ready to go. And so then in the course of 1 year. So are you like
meal prepping? You're doing the whole shebang, meal prepping, you're hitting the gym. You're not cheating, not eating sugar. You're cutting all that stuff out.
So right now, like I'm not really cutting at all, but like, because I'm at a goal weight, you know, like I'm happy kind of where I am. Now I'm just trying to gain muscle and like lean out. But what I did to like lose a lot of the weight was lazy keto. And, you know, a lot of people talk about, you know, keto and how like fast you can, you know, lose weight and stuff, and they're not joking at all. It really does. Like,
nice. If you're committed to it, if you're committed,
you have to be. And so that's why it was more of like lazy keto was good for me, because I could still have some of the things that I wanted. Like I could still have a little bit of ice cream at night and not like be completely in starvation mode, but it was definitely calorie restriction. And then I got a gym membership, and then I fell in love with the gym. I felt like I was a better me, you know, after I came out of there. And I don't know why I had been waiting so long to do that, but we found a gym. We use Crunch Fitness, and they have daycare,
Nice.
you know, for the kids. And so, like, my husband and I, we just decided that's something that we're doing together.
Oh, nice.
And so
It's
it was
especially good to
great.
have the motivation in the gym, have someone with you, and you're like pushing each
Yeah.
other. It definitely brings you to the next level for sure.
Yeah, and then it got to the point where I was like cool to go by myself, and I fell in love with like learning different exercises. And then also, I will say, like, I started posting about it, and the feedback that I got from other people, they were like, "Whoa, I could see the difference in your face and this and that. Like, keep going," and all these things like that. All of that support that I had during that journey like kept me going.
No, for sure. That definitely like brings you like to like a next level when other people see, because like seeing yourself every single day, you're just like, oh, am I even losing anything? Because like last year, I lost like 22 pounds. I was never like huge, but I lost 22 pounds since last Labor Day. And when people see me, they're like, damn, you lost weight. And I'm like, damn, thanks. Like it feels better when other people notice, because you're like, damn, am I seeing anything? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? So like that must feel good for you as well when other people complimenting you.
And now I can keep up with my kids. I can run if I want to. I can go up the stairs without like huffing and puffing. And, like
Hey,
my kids are like 45 pounds now, and I can like lift them. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Like, it's good.
And you cycle too. Then I see you cycling, right? There's like the dolphin event where people are cycling.
Yeah, like I don't really call myself a cyclist because I just do it like in preparation for the Dolphin Cancer Challenge.
Oh, nice.
Which is like the annual thing that it's actually the biggest NFL fundraiser
Really?
out of all of the teams.
That's cool.
And so that's, you know, a big fundraiser for University of Miami, Sylvester Cancer Center, and they do all kinds of cancer research. And so last year was actually my second DCC, and I did the 35-mile ride, and it was so hard. Like I met my
If you
match.
go from 0 to 35 miles, I cycle. If you go from 0 to 35, you're going to be exhausted after.
I was not prepared because I was thinking, okay, like just road terrain, like straight.
Yeah.
They didn't tell me there was drawbridges that we had to go up. That we were gonna ride from the University of Miami to Hard Rock Stadium.
Sheesh. You must have been like, what I got myself into?
And I did it.
Who got the icy hot?
I was like hurting so bad. It was such a mental challenge. Like you're like at the point where like when you haven't really trained appropriately and stuff. Like you're like, oh my God, like do I have to quit? And I'm like, no, I'm not quitting.
Your thighs were probably on fire. I know your thighs were on fire.
Yeah, like it's unreal.
Yeah, I know when you got up, your ass must have been so numb, because my ass is numb every time I cycle. So I can imagine the first time. Yeah, for days. So that makes sense.
Yeah, so it was like one of those things where like we finally like reached the rest area portion, and I got off my bike and I almost just fell onto the ground. And the other thing was too, like these people have gears on their bikes and I didn't have gears.
You had no gears?
No.
Oh my God. You must have been struggling.
It was bad, and like it got to the point where I got separated from the group. And,
of course, you had no gears.
Yeah, the cop was like, you're gonna need to either like fall back or go forward, because you're like in the middle of the group and you're gonna get lost. Like you're going through the city and everything, and like there's nobody to guide you, like if you lose the group. And I'm like, well, no, I'm not gonna fall back. And so I start going and going and going, and I'm like, my legs, like I had no control over my legs.
I can't imagine. No gears. You must have been brutal. That must have been so bad. No one warned you needed gears?
I should have known. It was only my second DCC, and the first one that I had done, I did the 15-mile. And
oh, so that's kind of light.
It was hard, but I was also on a mountain bike then. That's all I had. When they asked me to join, they were like, do you have a bike? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, can you do the DCC? And I'm like, oh yeah, okay. I don't see why not, you know. But I had a mountain bike, and like that, those tires are not meant for the road. So then I got a road bike. Last year I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a road bike and I'll be fine. And I was like, uh-oh, you're missing something important on the bike.
Where'd you get it from? Like Publix?
You can ask my husband. This is crazy because he's a bike connoisseur, but he bought the bikes. And I was like, yeah, I hate you.
He set you up. He's like, no, this is payback for all this dolphin stuff. I'm gonna make you regret it.
Right, and he did the ride with me too, and he was better off. But this year I decided I'm going back to the 15. I am gonna keep my single speed whatever, my little crappy bike, instead of buying like a brand new whatever, because I just want to be able to like put more money towards like the actual ride itself and the charity
and the playoffs and the playoffs.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm gonna do the 15 this year.
Oh, nice. When's that typically?
It's going to be February 25th.
Oh, nice.
And I like the 15 because you don't feel like it's a race and like you don't have to be experienced. You just kind of mosey along, and there's a lot of players out there that are riding too. So I met some players.
Was it Christian Wilkins, is that right?
Yeah. Wilkins was out there, and then like the first year there was quite a few of them, and like these guys come past me on the bikes, and I'm like, those have to be players because they're built,
big,
like huge, like just huge human beings. And I'm like, who the heck are they? So they passed me, and then at some point, I passed them, and then at some point they got ahead of me, and I'm like, I don't remember you guys passing me. Come to find out, they took a shortcut. And so I like rode up, and I got my little hat, my little helmet on with my like pink, and I'm like, hey, I'm like, weren't you guys like well behind me? How did you get in front of me? And they're like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, you guys are players. They're like, yeah.
And you're like, you know what? Just tell me the secret. I'll go with you.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, what's Dolphreaky mean? What is that? And I'm like, oh, it's just my fan name, And so then after the ride, like a few of them like were like, oh, it was nice to meet you, and like that sort of thing.
They were shooting their shot. Low key.
They were also cheating at the DCC, so I know
shooting their shot, and they were cheating. She knows who you are. She's like,
yeah.
And next year, she's keeping your eyes on you guys.
Yeah. But it was funny because then we like came across the finish line and they start yelling out who their names are. And I was like, So,
if you were the GM, you got hired tomorrow, what moves do you think? Do you think we need another move to get over the top, or you find this roster? What do you think? What would your moves be?
I'm fine with this roster, honestly, and I think we give it time to see what it looks like. Especially with the new coach, I really I want to know like what his creativity is going to do with what we have. Yeah, so like if I was the GM, I'm glad I'm not the GM because there's like so much that goes into that, and everybody wants to be like a closet GM and like act like they know what the team should do, but like the fact is you don't know. Yeah. And so
cap space, all this type of stuff, politics behind the background, you never know.
Yeah, and all those people in your face and all these opinions and I want more, playing time and all those things going on. And so I'm fine with what we've got. I just really, really want to see what it does.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely intrigued. If same results last year, we need to win, we lose, same exact thing. Do you give Tua another chance? If you're a GM Dolphreaky,
do I give him another chance after this year?
Or if we're reading into the rumor mill, are you going after Tom Brady if you're Stephen Ross, or are you riding with Tua next year?
I'm riding with Tua.
Is it just because of Tom Brady?
I think it's because I feel like Tom Brady is starting to be a little bit washed up. He's getting older. He's kind of on the verge of retiring anyways. And I feel like Tua is most definitely the longer term solution.
Okay, so I'll give another one to you. I'm sure you've seen this rumor. So if Lamar Jackson wants to come to Miami, because that's the rumor, he wants to come. He's not re-signing up Baltimore. Would you go with Lamar Jackson, or are you giving it to Tua another chance?
Would I go with Lamar Jackson at this moment?
Because his contract expires next year. I'm pretty positive. So if Tua doesn't lead us to the playoffs, are you giving Tua one more year, or you're riding Lamar?
So that's a very loaded question because it depends how close we were to the playoffs, what Tua looked like, how much playing time, how many injuries, all of those things would factor into my decision. But say,
to give him a
if it was a duplicate, it was a duplicate of last year, then I would definitely take Lamar and give him a chance.
Yeah, because Tua was obviously injured. Well, no injuries.
Solid year.
Good chemistry. Good chemistry, but we missed the playoffs because AFC West is stacked. We're one game away. Buffalo is amazing. One random team does good, we miss it by one game. But Tua's doing good. His interception's a little high, though. Last game, the game we need to get in, he throws a pick six. That's how we end off. Pick six to lose the game. What? Very detailed, but it's very, very possible. Kind of how it happened last year, besides the pick six. you're rolling with, it's gonna be so much talk because Tua threw a pick 6. He can't be that guy. Lamar Jackson's interested. He's from Miami. He wants to come back. Lamar's MVP, and they have the weapons.
I would roll with Tua because I think one thing that this team has been lacking is consistency, and it doesn't happen overnight that you have instant chemistry with your team, and little mistakes like, pick 6 can be a little mistake. And of course it's like a massively game season altering mistake, but still I think we give it time.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, Lamar Jackson, it'd be tough to say no to. So I guess we'll have to see next year. We can see what happens. But I'm riding with Tua. I mean, I rode with Tannehill for a couple of damn years, so I think I can give Tua a couple more years because I think these past 2 years weren't. I mean, it's tough to assess them that way. I mean, the odds were stacked against them, so I can't really hold it against them that aspect of it. But that was current. If you had to change, I'm sure you know the whole history of the Dolphins. Drew Brees, Ricky. If you had to change one thing in the past that you think would change our history, where we could have been maybe the Chiefs or the Patriots dynasty, where do you think we went wrong that we could have altered and been different?
I think the Drew Brees controversy was definitely it's a thing that people still bring up now. Like, look what we could have been at that time, and it would be interesting to see what the Dolphins would have looked like with a caliber quarterback like that.
So that you think that would have been your one thing that you would have changed? You would have brought Drew Brees in?
Yeah.
Same. I mean, breaks my heart after every single time.
Yeah. But you can't dwell on that kind of thing, though. And I know the fan base likes to do that, but we really can't. I just think because there are so many different pieces, and maybe Drew Brees would not have even looked remotely the same Drew Brees under our system.
Yeah.
So you just don't know.
Sean Payton was a great coach. Who knows? So we had a coach like Sean Payton. Who knows what could have happened? Mm-hmm. So ending off on a good note, what is the best moment as a Dolphins fans you can think of, in-game experience? One thing you instantly can think of. What's the best? What's the best thing you have?
So, the Miami Miracle is something that I will always remember, and it wasn't because I wasn't there.
Wow, that's the one game you weren't there for?
That's my one regret in life.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I missed that, but it was special for me because it happened when my dad, we watched it at home. So for me, it was reminiscing on old times. Dad and I used to watch football back home in Pennsylvania, and we really don't get that opportunity to do that now because I go to the games and I do the fan club watch parties and things, so we don't really get to watch together anymore. But that was a game, it was a one-off game that we watched together, and it had that outcome that it did. And to see my dad excited about the Dolphins again, it was very cute. So
I'm sure.
He's been very, very down on the team, and it's gotten to the point where he doesn't even really talk about it anymore. And he's oh, I'm not gonna watch today, and I'm just it breaks my heart because I'm
that's crazy. Because he's the reason why you got into it.
You made me this way, and it matters so much to me what happens in the game, and to hear him not be into it anymore, that broke my heart. But when when the Miami Miracle happened, he picked me straight up off the floor and literally full on swung me around the kitchen, and it was a magical moment for us, as a family and as a fan base.
Cool.
And to watch that a million times. I've watched it a million times back. I have a little Christmas tree over here, a little Dolphins Christmas tree that I keep up year round, and it has a Miami Miracle ornament on it. And
what's the ornament? It's they have a picture of the entire field or something on it.
It's just a little ball, and it just says Miami Miracle.
Oh, fire! That's cool. That's cool.
And I posted that on Twitter. When I was brand new to Twitter, I posted that on Twitter, and I got so much backlash from the Patriots fans. They were they were so nasty, so mad that I would have so offended that I would have an ornament for a regular season win that was meaningless.
Oh, I'll get that all the time. Imagine living here. Imagine living here.
I can't, because those people, I can't stand them.
I can't stand them.
Retweeting me, making fun of me, this and that and everything. So I know that the Miami Miracle is meaningless to most, but to me, it was fun.
I almost broke my ankle watching that game. I was watching my friend. I started running around. I had these shoes with terrible ankle support. Literally rolled my ankle. I was like, damn it! Still kept running around, celebrating. I didn't give a shit. I was so excited. That had to be it too. I was gonna say the same thing.
I think that game taught the fan base a lesson too, that like you don't leave until it's 0-0.
Yeah, especially after that
leave.
Raiders game. Me either. If I push off on paying for a game, I'm not leaving.
Yeah,
Second off,
I was at that Raiders game.
That Raiders game was nuts. And now, especially now that we have Tyreek. I mean, I was watching that Chiefs-Bills game at a casino, actually, and I was watching a girl who usually doesn't watch football, and she's like, oh, this game's over. I'm like, no, it's not. No, it is not. They have Tyreek Hill. It is not over with 13 seconds left.
I always think, like, if we're down one score, I think, what if there's a last-second interception, they run it back for a touchdown? Like, what if? Even when I was in Tampa and we were getting beat like 45-10, I still stayed till 0-0 because that's the pact that I've made to myself. I'm not leaving until it's over.
100%. Then you'll be mad, like, damn, that might be a miracle. I wasn't there for that. I was there, but I left with 4 minutes left.
Yeah, can you imagine being in your car and hearing that? Like, I want to know from those people what that feels like.
Fake fans. I don't care. I think those people are fake fans. I'm staying till the end. I don't care.
Like, you did not give the Dolphins a chance.
Yeah.
You suck.
No way. You suck. Exactly. I don't want to see you at games this year. You know who you are.
Yeah, go sit in the corner.
Don't come to East 12. You're not allowed.
No, you're not getting a beer at East 12.
But to finish off, though, you said you started off with your dad. So then you was just like that. That got you into it. Then what? You just kept yourself being the fan, like throughout high school. Like, were you guys still watching games during high school, or you just like went off on your own thing and you were just watching it dolo?
Yeah. So like he would watch Dolphins football every Sunday, and it was like you can't do anything else. Like, that is it. Like, Sundays are for football, and depending on what the Dolphins did on the field, like, we would either talk during dinner or we would eat in silence.
So it seemed like a lot of silence back then. Well, back then it was probably good. They
were good. That was a good team. That was like the Ricky Williams, Jason Taylor, like Chris Chambers, like that. Those were the good years, actually. And there were some really exciting games that he was like, just shut up and watch the game with me. And I started to, and I was like, oh, like I like feel like I love this, and he started to teach me, and I would ask questions, and there were a lot of times where I fell asleep on the couch and I would wake up to him screaming and like pretend like I wasn't sleeping. I'd be like, oh my God, yeah, like that. And then I was like, dude, like I totally missed out on that. Like, wake the hell up and learn the game. So then I really just started like delving into it. And it wasn't really until, so we went to games like once a year during high school. The first game that we were supposed to go to got postponed due to hurricane, and it was just so devastating. Like, I'll never forget that.
You were heartbroken. You're like, damn it.
But that built up the suspense for me more and more, because I was like, my ultimate goal was to get to Miami and see a game. And so then we finally got to get one, and I met like a lot of the super fans or like the known fans, and like I was like, oh.
So you were plugged up since day one. You knew everybody since the beginning.
Yeah, like and like Facebook was kind of new and stuff, but then I started like, the more dolphin content you like on your social media, then like Facebook starts feeding you more, and I'm like, I was meeting people like Dolphin Maniac and like the Miami Dolphin Bandits and like those like really cool fans, and so that's when I started dressing up, and so I started doing like face paint and the wig and all that.
It's fire.
And then it wasn't until college that I really like got into the team, and like, I was reading everything I could read about the Dolphins, because in college it was either pharmacy stuff or football stuff. And so I was like, I'm going to do football stuff. I don't want to study, And so I was just reading. And that was the year.
The Finsider?
Yeah. Like,
I was in the Finsider like crazy.
Yeah, and like the Dolphins website, I would just read everything, and I would watch all of the old games and the videos and everything I could find on YouTube. And then that's when the contest happened when I was in college. And
then we heard so that's the beginning of it. If you want to hit the end of it, we said in the beginning of the podcast. So that's the entire story from Allie Dolphreaky right there. That's cool. Yeah,
you're probably the first podcast that got like the whole story.
Hey, we got the drip over here. We got the inside information. That's cool. We got the first storytelling of Dolphreaky's entire story. That's cool. So how did your husband now get in there? So what was he? So you're not a Dolphins fan. So was he a a major for pharmaceuticals or what?
No, so he's not in like pharmacy industry at all. He's actually a welder by trade, and so we're
nice.
both very different with that regard. And so, I started to bring him to games when I was in college, I think it was, and he just like kind of went along with it. He's like, "Yeah, I want to come with you." And then like he started to meet people, and like so a lot of people know him too. They know him as Dolphreaky security. But yeah, he just like he goes for the party and the friendship and everything. He doesn't fully understand the game, and so I do my best to try to teach him. But at the same time, we don't often watch games like in front of a TV together. And so a lot of the times, like I'm just trying to explain things during the game, or like really like playoff football is a really good like learning for him because I could like sit and watch it.
It's third down. Shut up.
Yeah. He like gets annoyed with me because like I'm so intense when I watch. Like I'm always like,
oh, trust man. Yeah, same thing over here.
And he's like, "Can you stop? Like, can you be?" Even
I can't.
Like,
I can't.
Mom, can you be quiet? And I'm like, "No, it just comes out. Like, I don't know. I can't."
I'm literally the same exact way. So, if a guy's like, you don't know football, how you get pissed off, or you get over that fact? You say, you know what? I know what I'm talking about. I don't care, or you let it get to you still.
I don't really go back and forth about it because, like, you can just go look at my Instagram and like see like I'm not your average. 100%. I'm not your average. And I will be honest with you, like I'm not an analyst. Like I don't get down to like all the X's and O's talk. Like I don't have time like to get into all of that. And like I don't want to be a GM and I don't want to be a coach, but I want to be a fan, and I'm a fan of fans, and I'm a resource person. And so a 100%. Lot of my time, like my podcasts are spent like helping fans go where they need to go and stuff. And so like I don't do a whole lot of analytics and like that sort of thing.
Yeah, you're not calling coverages, but you're calling you're calling the tailgating. So if you need any help tailgating, if you need any help finding anything, resources, reach out to your girl Dolphreaky.
And I have a lot of like great like podcasting females that I know, like Miss Phins and like Phinsanity. Like those girls know the game, like in and out, like more than the average man. But like for me, it's not really like I don't have a mentor in that department or anything. Like a lot of them have like their brother or their father or whatever like teaches them that stuff, and I don't get into like that much detail.
Gotcha. Yeah. So give them a follow. I'm sure, like you said, they know what they're talking about. If you want to hear some females talk about the game, I'm sure you guys do. Check it out. I'm sure they're pretty. They're plugged up as well.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of great girls out there doing all kinds of things, and that's like a thing for me too. Like I just feel like female fans just don't get a good rap. And like if I'm walking with any given male like throughout the tailgate, I'll hear people say, "Oh, you taught her right. Oh, you trained her good."
I'm sure it's ignorant.
Like, oh my god!
Like nah, I brought him here.
And I don't even go back and forth. I'm just like, yeah, he did.
That fake laugh.
He taught me good.
Yeah, I used to be that way with not that way. I used to be like the fighter, the argumentative guy with Patriot fans. Yeah. Now at this point, I'm like, you know what, dude? I don't even care. I care, but it's not worth it. Like, that's whatever.
You don't know what it's not worth it.
Exactly. You don't even know what you're talking about. You probably don't even know what cover one is. So hop off my nuts. So I don't even care about stuff anymore.
And some people are just like they won't stop. They feed off of arguments.
100%. And they know that I'm the crazy Dolphin fan, so they want to get me like annoyed. My dad does it all the time. He doesn't know a thing about football, but he'll call me and be like, "What happened with the Dolphins?" Like, dude, shut up. I'm literally hanging up on him like, you don't watch. You're just trying to get me pissed off. I don't even care.
Yeah, they're just trying to get a rouse out of you. See how petty you'll get. And
I used to feed into it. Now I don't though, and hopefully this year I don't have to, because this year, like Allie said, be 13-4, 13-4 bucket. Write it down. That's what she's saying right there. Any last words? Anything you want to say about the season? Anything you want to plug? Anything you want to plug?
I can plug everything. Okay, so
here you go. Here's your time. Put this clip.
So I'm at Dolphreaky on Twitter and Instagram. Southwest Florida Dolphin Club on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Yes, we do watch parties for the away games at well, we might be changing venues. Shh, secret. But right now we're at the Sandbar and Grill in Fort Myers. So if you're in the area, come through. We also do a beach bash annually in the off season just to try to get more fan engagement, and that's really, really fun. And so if anybody wants information about Southwest Florida Dolphin Club, let me know. East 12 tailgate, big shout out to all my East 12ers. They're so awesome.
Hey.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. Like, finally next week we get to go back home, even though it's for, preseason. It's still going to be great. It's going to be awesome.
Hey, new member here. You'll see me week 1. We'll be there in person. Let's get it.
Let's go. Yeah, so there's definitely all different types of things going on this year. We have the MetLife Takeover, so that's put on by Dolphins NYC. So MetLifeTakeover.com if you want tickets for that. And then also the Baltimore Beatdown at Tailgating.com for those tickets. Okay, Dolphreakys Phriends is my charity, and you can find that also on at Dolphreakys Phriends on Instagram and dolphreakysphriends.org.
Hey, if you're to come to the game week 1, make sure you help her out that fundraiser. She's bringing in the can drive, fish food, cat food, not fish food.
You can bring canned fish for cats.
And give her that super follower on Twitter too. Help out the cause.
Yeah, so I'm doing a giveaway for September 1st. So if you're a super follower, you're automatically entered to win something. I haven't decided yet what it'll be. Last month I did a poster, a bikini poster.
Hey, fire. Hey, I'm sure some people like it. I'm sure the guys who was taking the shortcuts at the game would like it too. I mean, the biking would like that too. So,
I'm always doing something. Just if you need help with getting to a game or you need a hotel, whatever, just let me know.
Hey, for sure. Hey, I'm glad you came through. I'm glad we finally got to meet virtually, but me in person week 1. Yeah, thanks for your time. It was a great time. Follow, like you said, on everything Dolphreaky. And playoffs or bust this year, baby. We'll get it. We're getting there. I have faith. I have faith into it too. Let's get it. Fins up, baby. Fins up. Hey, let's go to Let's go Tyreek and Waddle, baby. The penguin and the cheetah. Let's get it.